The
British Pathé Archives have captured almost every aspect of life in Britain since their creation in 1899. While our hopes and dreams may not have changed across the years, our attitudes and social stereotypes certainly have. 70 years ago, a father's role was simple. He was the protector, the provider, and occasionally the punisher at home. The men went out to work, while the women stayed in the nest, looking after the chores and the childcare. During the Second World War, many fathers-to-be were sent away to fight, their children born in their absence. When they returned, it was to a very different world with new ideas on the role of the father. Adrian Burgess is the Director of Research of the Fatherhood Institute and lobbies for fathers' rights. What will she make of attitudes 70 years ago?
Keep calm, old chap. It's happened before.
I had a very caring father, but when I was born, my father certainly was not in attendance on my birth. He would have considered that rude.
Well, yes, rude, exactly. And one of the reasons that men can now be at the birth is the sexual revolution of the 1960s. We're much more easy about our bodies, much more easy about sex. And so, okay, what's the big deal?
One way of solving the domestic problem is to train fathers to look after Junior, so that mother can go out to the pictures once in a while without her evening being spoiled, wondering what's going wrong at home. After they've watched skilled nurses doing this sort of thing, washing baby holds no terrors for the men. But nurse has to help with the undressing. Men are so useless with ribbons and things.
Well, there you are, Adrian. 70 years ago, childcare was the preserve of women. It was a complete novelty to have men attempting to bath baby.
I know, and didn't it raise a laugh for everybody? But the idea that men should be actually being more hands-on, not just that this was something really important for men to do, was starting to emerge right through the 20th century, just as right through the 20th century women were gradually moving into employment.
During the war, women had embarked upon new jobs and learned skills denied to earlier generations, skills they weren't eager to abandon once their husbands had returned.
You can laugh if you like, but before long every one of these nursing fathers will be so expert at raising the wind that a new generation will grow up clinging to their father's apron strings while engineer mothers are out building bonny bombers.
So if women were to be the new breadwinners, then men would have to do their share of the housework.
It's a goodbye kiss that ends with a question mark, as Mrs. Ivy Smith, mother of 8, leaves home to catch the 8:15 for London and business, leaving hubby on the doorstep holding the baby.
Soon the concept of the house husband was born as businesswomen went out to work for a living.
Do British fathers make good mothers? And what are these? Hair clips? Woman's untidiness again. Why is it these business wives just won't tidy their things before they leave? Women's work is never done. Here we are, back where we started. One thing after another. Oh, more feminine worries. 20 minutes per pound with 5 minutes less for each pound in a big joint. Well, either the meat will be underdone or the pudding overcooked. They can't have it both ways. See what I mean? Just system.
Where are we now? Is parenting equally shared between mothers and fathers?
No, and nor is breadwinning. Where the mother doesn't work, the dads do about a quarter of the childcare-related tasks in the week, and that's gone up from 15 minutes a day, which was your average dad in the sort of early 1970s, up to an average of 2 hours.
Goodness.
So that's a big shift. And where mothers work full-time, of course, fathers' contributions are much higher.
So the times, they are a-changing. Soon, it seems, the words mother and father may become indistinguishable. Meanwhile, I continue to be a working dad myself. I can burn the fish fingers as well as the next bloke.
Fred Hunt took young Terry completely by surprise by knowing how to cook breakfast. The boy promised not to tell Mummy.
I love those Pathé